What up, though, party people? This is your man, your boy, your partner, your dude, the boss, the CEO from the 313. And I was actually reading a post that that I put up yesterday. Well, right now, Facebook say 22 hours ago, but I also put it up on Instagram as well. And I was gonna talk about that. I was gonna deal with that, but I'm just gonna. I want to break down something that I said I was going to break down. And what I'm going to break down is um, this definitely is for men. This is definitely a stream for men. And what I want to break down is what I call the 4x4 broad. And she'll be easy to recognize. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because I was accused of bashing women. To be clear, I don't bash women. I tell the truth about females. There's a difference between a woman and a female. Here's what I mean. A woman, she understands her place. She understands her spot. She understands tradition. A female don't hold none of that. She thinks she's the shit. She thinks she's on a pedestal. She believes she's entitled to your shit. A woman is fit, friendly, cooperative, feminine, submissive, traditional, understands her place, understands her position. A female, she thinks the world revolves around her. She thinks that you owe her something. She thinks that she is the cat's meow. Now, to be clear, again, the boss don't bash women. I tell the truth about females. But I don't give a shit about them right now. What I want to talk about right quick is the 4x4 broad and the concept of how I came up with that. And the way I came up with that, now, I break down the female in four categories: the German Shepherd, the hyena, the Barilla, and the bitter bat. Now, let's start with the hyena. The hyena is these chicken heads that you see all over social media, your Instagram thoughts, your OF thoughts, them, the ones that's out here talking about, they get in the bag and you gotta, in order for you to fuck with them, you gotta drop the bag on them and they might do, in other words, they like low-end prostitutes, really. And they get the concept that, I can do what I want to do and I'm the prize and all that shit, and I am the table. That's the hyena. The Crips and Cure call them dirty back feet. That's what she calls them. Now, if you ever ran to a hyena, you know it. Which makes me feel sorry for some of the kids that I know growing up, because they're being raised by the bitter bats are raising your hyenas, which I will talk about them in a few minutes. They're the ones that's raising the hyenas. Now, the German Shepherd is that female who's the educated type. She has the 50-11 degrees that ain't about shit. She's in debt up to her asshole, to her eyeballs, just so that she can call herself, whatever it is that she thinks she is. She's the one that wants to be the leader. She thinks she's the alpha female. And there's no such thing as an alpha female. They don't exist. Either you're a woman or you're a female. And there's no such thing as alpha in the female category. That don't exist. Now, moving along with that, the German Shepherd, that was the dog that they released on people when they wanted to move a crowd. You remember, if you go back to the civil rights movement, they're the ones that they had German Shepherds that was biting on the people that was protesting and marching. These same females, you'll find most of them in leadership positions they don't belong in. Me personally, I don't think no female should be in a position of power or leadership. That's just how I feel about it. You can call me chauvinistic. I don't give a damn. Now, she's the type that thinks that she's above everybody. You know, she's the type that'll legislate to get shit passed to work in her favor. And she's always biting and gnawing at you. She's aggravating. She gives you no peace. She's always barking and woofing at you because she thinks she's special, and she really ain't shit. But that's what she believes. Now, the next one is the Bearilla. The Bearilla is the female, and my man, shout out to the Toxic Show. He talked about. I watched his stream tonight where he was like, and shout out to Coach Greg Adams because he's the one that came up with what they call 49ers. Most Bearillas are 49ers. Coach Greg Adams called them busted Pillsbury biscuit cans by the way they're shaped. You know, these are the females who think they're goddesses, they're gorgeous, they're fine, but they're out of shape, swole up, 300 pounds, size 15, 18, 23, 25, you know, and they and shout out to Tyler Perry. He's the one that actually came up with the term Bearilla. I just took it and actually put a definition to it. Well, he put a definition. I put a face on it. Let's put it like that. A Bearilla is what I would call a female who's big as a bear and ugly as a gorilla, but she thinks she's fine. She's a 4. She's more of a 3 and a 2, but she's a 4. But she thinks she's a 9. Case in point, if anybody been on social media for any length of time lately, you've seen this so-called model with the crusty ass lips that weigh over 290 pounds, thinking that she deserves somebody making 6 figures or anybody that's making almost $250,000. And we know, us as real men, we know that a female that's that fucking big, we're not going nowhere in public with her if we worked our salt. Let's just be real. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We're not walking around with nothing like that. I call them Gladys Knight chicks. You know, that's that chick that you hope that you take her out at night and you hope nobody know you and nobody see you. But then you might run across somebody you might think that know you, be like, if they see me, I'm Gladys Knight. Whew, I'm Gladys Knight. But they think they're the shit. And they are the most below average female. Matter of fact, I just saw one that was going off on the Passport Bros, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I tell you this. Anyway, I don't want to. I can make myself sick. Damn that. Okay. Then it brings me now to the bitter bat. Now, the bitter bat, she's a special kind of fool. See, the bitter bat is the one who went after her career, went after bullshit businesses, had somebody in her life, probably had a couple kids with them, and picked wrong, but she won't take responsibility or accountability for the fuck-ups in her life, and she blames every man for everything that ever happened to her. Now, the hyena, German Shepherd, and Bearilla does the same thing, but the bitter bat, she puts it on display. She's the type that puts it on display so much that everything that she talks about, everything that she posts is geared to younger women so they can be in that same jacked up position that she's in because she chose wrong. Again, she chose wrong, went after her so-called 50-11 businesses, went after the bag, as they call it, which I don't understand the bag shit. I'd rather be the bank than the bag, but that's just me. I'm just thinking like that. But so she's the one that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, the majority of those females will never listen to nothing a man has to say. And she has cackling other tackling bats surrounding her. But the bitter bat is more so like the German Shepherd. And a German Shepherd, let me also reiterate about the German Shepherd. The German Shepherd is that attack dog with the spirit of the Doberman. Now, anybody know about the Doberman? The Doberman is that type of dog that will turn against you like that. I had a bitch like that. Her name was Tamarica. And I don't want to talk about what I did. I was 10, 11 years old. This Doberman would never piss and shit outside. She always want to piss and shit all over the house. Then my parents would get upset with me because I'm supposed to be responsible because she was my dog. And then I had my mans that wanted to mate her. I'm like, I'm not mating with this bitch. No, no. Matter of fact, I was trying to give her to him. Hopefully it was something about her that she was a special Doberman because, and a lot of guys that had dogs that they wanted to breed with her. I'm like, you can have this bitch. I told my man, take her. You can have her. And one time, I'm trying to be nice to her, and she snapped at me. And I slapped. When I tell you, I slapped her so hard that she was trembling and shitting all over the house at the same time. And then I beat her ass because she started shitting and pissing in the house. And so the German Shepherd has the spirit of the Doberman. They will turn on you in a heartbeat because they think they're superior. But getting back to the bitter bat, see the bitter bat. They're what you call the loners of the females. They hate men with a passion. They think that the men did something to them when the truth of the matter is they just picked wrong and got what they deserved because that's what they chose. They had kids with them. They knew they wasn't shit. But see, the bitter bat is the type of female who thinks she can change a man. You're not going to change. There's no way you're going to change a man. Anybody will tell you that. You cannot change a man. Period. There's nothing that you can do to make a man change. A man's going to be a man, going to do what he want to do. But everything that she says about a man is negative. So much so, she'll actually look at the things that she has around her. She thinks that her accomplishments and her 50-11 businesses, which most of those ain't even businesses, they're mostly their jobs, but she'll sit there and act like that's some type of significance and somebody's supposed to look up to that like she's doing something and she really ain't doing shit. Now, the worst thing about the bitter bat is that they fall into the libation of the leftovers. They're the type of females that, they can get some dick, but they can't get a ring. They can play. They can come off the bench and run a few plays, if you know what I mean. But they're always on a losing team. They will never get the championship. No real man of value values them. That's the reason why they hate them like that. But see, and the sad part about them, they're the ones that the Godfather used to call that are in no man's land. Now, when you deal with all four of those, they come with the other four elements that we all know that the Godfather used to always talk about, and that's sign language. The one thing they hang their hats on, all four of them, they hang their hats on the N, the fourth part of the sign, SIGN. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. That N, they hang their lives on that hat. They hang their lives on that N, on that last part of that four-letter word, sign. When they can't shame you, insult you, or guilt you, they're going to fight for the need to be right. And I saw that tonight. I still listen to the Godfather. His legacy will always live forever. As long as men like us are around, nothing these scallywags can tell us about, Kevin Samuels and the Godfather. I call him the Godfather. And I will always call him the Godfather because outside of him and other content creators that I followed right before I ran into him, such as like Coach Greg Adams, Tommy Sotomayor, Angry Man, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Minister Jap. Oh my goodness, there's so many of them that I pay homage to. Itmore. I mean, it's Uncle Dave, rest in peace. Most of these cats I was listening to them as I was climbing and climbing because I had just came out of a divorce when I found these cats. And then all of a sudden, it's like that prescription, I got that prescription in me. And all of a sudden, not only did that prescription open up my mind, but it awakened me to female nature. And I never forget. I don't remember if it was The Godfather or Tommy Sotomayor or Tom Likas, another one. But one of them said, never apologize for being a man. If you are a man, number one, you ain't got to say you're a man. You walk, you talk, you move. And then it's another cat that I follow, King Toxic. I love that dude. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I'm going to get to this point and I'm going to get out. But listen, like I said, Hyena, German Shepherd, Bearilla, Bitter Bat. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. And I crossed them like this. And this X means, that was like 4x4. That's the 4x4 broad. If any of now, the ones I would tell you to truly stay away from, honestly, stay away from all of them. But avoid at all costs the Bitter Bat. That old ass broad who's way past her prime. The wall, then she done slid her face down the wall, body then went into the wall. She done flipped, dipped, and skipped her ass into the wall. And the wall is like Father Time. Both of them will never lose. Undefeated, period. So, and that's how I came up with the 4x4 broads. And what I do is I tell young men and men my age and in between, stay on your purpose. Stay on your grind. Have dick discipline. Stop putting your dick in these crazy ass broads. Them the ones you don't put a dick in. Because when you put a dick in them, you have a tendency to probably raise offspring that you don't want to be bothered with. Don't do that shit. And whatever you do, men, I'm talking to my brothers, fellas, kings, ambassadors, monarchs, and emperors. I'm talking to y'all. Leave them. Forgive me for the language. Forgive me, Lord. Leave them bras the fuck alone. Don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. Nothing you can do with them. They're the ones that, like, you ever heard of a throwaway? That's the gun with no serial number that you use it, but then you get rid of it. It's kind of like what my man in Four Brothers said, Victor Sweets. He talked about the prostitute. He said, you don't pay a hoe to fuck you. You pay her to leave. And he was talking about out-of-town shooters. He wanted shooters from out of town so they can come into Detroit, handle their business, and get the fuck back out of town. That's what he was saying. I say don't touch them. If you run up on one of them based on the description I gave you, like I said, the Bitter Bat she's easy to spot. You know what I'm saying? She's past the prime. She's hit the wall. She's bitter as shit. She's mean. She's cantankerous. She's the type of woman you don't want to do. Female, excuse me, forgive me, women. I didn't mean to cuss at you. I apologize. She's the type of female that will. All of them can destroy you, but she is the one. She's the most venomous, vitriol, and vindictive out of all of them. Outside of the German Shepherd with the Doberman spirit, but all of them are dangerous. But she's the worst. That Bitter Bat. Because, see, when she gets her fangs in you, it's hard to pull her ass off of you. But the point I'm making is to you gentlemen, is that stay on your stance, stature, and standards. Stand firm on your stance. Walk upright in your stature. And be rooted in your standards. Don't change them for nobody, especially a 4x4. Do not do that. So, now that you know what that is, you know what to look out for. And teach your sons, teach your young sons, teach the young men that you are raising. If they're in your life in any way, shape, form, or fashion, teach them to do the same thing. Stay away from the 4x4s. The only 4x4 a man should have is a truck. Not them. Period. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and rise up out of here. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, I was going to do this. So I just wanted to make sure that I got this done. So I'll be coming up with some more content. I'll be coming with some other things, doing some other stuff. I have other channels that I'm doing. I'm also going to be on Rumble. I'm also on Locals. And I'm also doing a Patreon as well. So until next time, to my fellas, brothers, kings, ambassadors, monarchs, and emperors, stay up, root down, stay toxic, and above all things, stay a real man. I'm out of here.